Hi, everyone. Welcome to the very last session for today. It's been an amazing day, and we have one last amazing woman here, Michelle, who is the founder of a company called Women Who Wow. Amazing. So excited for your session. And the session is going to be about the best ways to market and monetize your membership.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I am very, very excited to be here talking about something that is so dear to my heart and to my business, and that is membership, right? And before I go into the nuts and bolts of how you can market and fully monetize your membership, I want to just let you know why you should listen to me, right? Specifically about memberships. In 2008, I started my very first membership. And I'll never forget, it was called the Coaching Gym because I'm super creative that way. The membership back then was $97 a month. And we hovered around 100 members, give or take. Usually it was around like 104, 105 members during the peak of the membership. And membership had two benefits back then. It was measuring what matters e-coaching, which is just basically you email me on Sunday evening and I get an email back to you on Monday, and one-on-one phone coaching using a Magic Jack phone. So I'm not sure if you're watching, if you remember Magic Jack phone, if maybe that you're too young for that, I have no idea. But I used a Magic Jack phone, meaning during call-in hours, I would plug the Magic Jack phone in. And if you got through, I would answer the phone. If you called and I didn't answer, it was because I was on with another client or another member and you had to call back, right? That was the system. Call, and if I don't answer, I'm on with someone else and call back. The tools I used were Magic Jack phone and email. I used PayPal for payments. And it was a membership that during that time in 2008, 2009, it generated around $10,000 a month every month for me. And I remember that I kind of felt like my membership wasn't fancy enough. It was like very, very simple, which is how I am. But I kind of got a little bit like, man, this is $10,000 a month. I'm doing really well with this. I should get some help. And I will never forget that a few people who had started attending my events, I was doing a lot of live events at the time. They had been attending events by this other person who did events in Las Vegas. And I noticed that she was selling, something on mentoring people who were starting memberships. And when I read her sales page, I was very all in, right? And so I did the obligatory call to talk to somebody else who would tell me if it was a good deal. I was already pre-sold. But when I got on the call, I asked them, I said, well, I'm a yes, but I'd like to look at her membership. I don't see on her website, what her membership looks like, right? Because I want to know who's mentoring me and if they're mentoring me in a way that I want to go. And their answer was an unashamed, she doesn't have a membership. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. She's mentoring me. I have a $10,000 a month membership and she's mentoring me and she doesn't even have a membership, right? It was very much an eye-opening moment. And so 2008, 2009 was my first membership. And I'm ashamed to say that I let it die out because I got all caught up in the glitz and glamour of live events. And at the time, I was traveling the country and I was hosting my own events. I had Gary Vaynerchuk and Liz Lang and Gabby Bernstein speak on my stage. And it looked super cool. I was young. And I honestly, at that moment, kind of felt like my membership, even though it was the highest profitably speaking, highest profit thing I did, it kind of felt like it was a distraction to me. And I stupidly let it go. But I quickly realized I was wrong. And what I learned in marketing that first $10,000 a month membership was invaluable. And not uncoincidentally, how I marketed that little membership with those two benefits is still very similar to how I market and sell and fully monetize, which is a whole different thing, my current membership. And right now I run a membership that has been around for several years. We've got members in every state in 8 countries. I'm super proud of it. I love the women that come in. And so before I get going, I wanted to give you a couple of thoughts just to kind of lay the foundation of the work we're going to do together in the next few minutes. Most of what people teach you about anything, money, relationships, business, whatever, right? Like fitness, health, like most of what people think about these things are wrong, right? There's a reason that, 80% of businesses fail is because these people are giving each other advice, right? The 4 out of 5 are giving each other advice and they're listening to it. So you want to be very careful who you're listening to. But most of what people teach you about growing memberships is dead wrong. It leads you down an expensive and frustrating road where in memberships, which is really like you want it to be a long-term goal. I'm going to show you how to make at least $17,000 right out of the gate, but it's a long road. It's a marathon, right? It's something that you want to be around for years to come, right? And so if you're taking that approach, you will be, if you follow the standard advice, you're going to be pouring your heart into a community only to have people like try your dollar trial. Never done that, by the way. Wouldn't advise it. Try your free trial and then leave as fast as they come in. Lots of churn, lots of turnover, but lots really of you pouring your heart into people who just don't have the mindset to stay. So when everybody is talking to you about free trials or dollar trials or $7 trials or whatever, be very suspicious, right? Be very cautious about following their lead. I'll tell you more about that as I go, but if you want I have a free blueprint. There's nothing for sale in it. How to grow membership. You can message me directly, m.me/women who wow, or you can just go to tribeofdrivenwomen.com and peruse all of our free stuff there. But another quick note, memberships are as a standalone offer are not an easy sell. It's an amazing way to grow wealth, not just like an income, but actual wealth. It's an amazing way to grow your base income and to create a container where people that you can help are well cared for within that container, but they don't make great standalone offers. And I want to tell you why. One, most people just don't trust themselves to follow through, right? A lot of times people who are selling memberships, they think if they keep reducing the price, then, people might say yes, or if they give them a free trial or whatever. But the truth is people are just hesitant. They don't know if they can trust themselves to follow through, right? They've got burned and bruised fingers from buying other programs that they didn't follow through on. But also they don't like giving their credit card information for these like trials or monthly, dings or whatever, because they're afraid they're going to forget to cancel, which is instructive about their mindset coming in to your membership that you're pouring your heart and soul into. It's also why I don't allow monthly memberships now for my current membership. I've never done any free trials, not free, not a dollar trial, not a $7 trial. I don't want the cheapos in my membership. I don't want to pour my heart and soul into them. But and maybe it's just the woman in me, right? Like, I don't want to be tried out for a week. I'd rather attract a more like committed crowd, right? Side note, my membership has less than a 25% churn rate. Honest to God, I can show you the numbers. I do not auto enroll people in an annual membership. I want membership to be something that they're proud to renew, that they decide deliberately to renew. I want it to be a deliberate choice on their end to continue with our membership. And still, we have a less than 25% churn rate. Final thought before I get into the actual sermon for today. The reason why memberships don't sell very well as a standalone product is nobody's sitting around laying awake at night, plagued with the thought that if they could just find the right mastermind or just find the right membership, everything would be better, right? Like the truth is nobody thinks in those terms, right? But they are laying awake at night pondering something, right? They're laying awake at night pondering something, and that something is a hook that we're going to build your membership around. So first things first, when I said that most people selling membership advice are actually wrong, some of them have memberships. Very few people have had memberships as long as I've had memberships or as financially successful. I'm really a dinosaur in this industry, but I meant it. Most people are selling memberships, even like the top names, like their memberships are kind of like they have one membership and then it fizzles out and they have another one. I meant that most of this advice is wrong. And here's what I've never done. Just so you know, I've never done launches with the doors to Women Who Wow are open now, right? Our doors are always open. I would hate for a woman to be perusing the internet and somehow stumble upon Women Who Wow, and then like the doors are closed and I could help her right then, but there's no way for her to join, right? Those are the thoughts that plague me. So our doors to Women Who Wow are always open. I also don't talk to people one-on-one about joining Women Who Wow. I did in my very first launch for my first 40 members, and I'll tell you how I did that. But now I don't do that. I only did that for the first one-on-one. I put a ton of free content out there so people can get a feel for me. And I even have like a curated content journey they can go down to see if Women Who Wow is for them. That content journey scares off the people who shouldn't be joining Women Who Wow, and it really draws in those who should. I've also don't do and have never done affiliate marketing. I don't sell affiliate stuff, and I don't have other people selling Women Who Wow. I'm an acquired taste, right? I prefer to people to come to Women Who Wow through me in some stage or page that I've appeared on. And I grew my existing membership, honest to God, by print invite only for the first 18 months of membership. You got an invite literally printed, inviting you to join for a fee, of course, or you didn't get to join. That's how it worked. I was determined. I really wanted to lay the foundation for a membership that would definitely not look like all the other women's leads groups or women's networking groups or women's business groups out there. I wanted to create the group for women who didn't fit and wouldn't comply enough to fit in these other groups. So it's very important to me to grow very deliberately. So when I first kicked off my current membership, I invited 40 women at the beginning, and I think 34 of those women said yes. The invite, by the way, didn't just invite them to to join some unknown club that they had to pay to join. It also told them very directly why I chose to invite them as inaugural members. And every single month, these inaugural members started recommending their friends, right? And then their friends would get a print invite, and on and on and on, and we grew from there. But this is the first point that I really wanted to get across to you guys. I'm going to check and make sure I'm not missing any comments. But growing deliberately at the beginning is the smartest, fastest, and most profitable way to grow, because you get the right people in the group to begin with. These are going to lay the foundation and the culture of your membership. And if you're approaching this like a marathon, as you should, right? And I'll tell you how I kicked off my membership with a 1 month bonus of $17,000, a little bit over. But you get the right people in the group. You want your group to be curated, right? You want it to be curated and to begin with a group of people that really represent the kind of people you'd be proud to lead and mentor or have in your membership. So that's the first thing, you get the right people in the group. But also, because you've got the right people in the group, they're going to bring people like them. So your group grows in the right direction. I don't do affiliates. I don't give my members like kickbacks if they bring their friends. They bring their friends because they want their friends to experience Women Who Wow, right? When I went into online membership, I had the Magic Jack phone, the coaching gym for a while. And then I stupidly quit that, thinking that my events were the thing. And this membership that was high profit, low overhead was the distraction. When I got back to it, my next membership was more in person. When I finally went online with Women Who Wow in 2017, I decided that I would kick off this online digital membership. First time I had done that under the Women Who Wow brand, that I would aim for 40 annual members. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about how to get those first 40 and why you should choose to make them pay annually, especially even if you go into monthly memberships later. I personally don't do it. I like a more committed crowd. And it's also a whole lot less overhead and headache for me, like managing, like, oh, your credit card didn't go through, like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't like that kind of thing. But let's talk about how to get your first 40 members and a little bit about why to make them, or, why to consider, you might want to consider making them be annual inaugural members. So the first thing is like, how do you get those first 40 members? You're building a membership, a community, right? And so I recommend getting those first 40 members by personal invite, not a BCC, but a personal one-on-one invite that casts the vision of what you're getting ready to do. Or maybe you have an existing membership and you're inviting these next 40, right? So one is it casts a vision for what you are doing in the membership. And you also want to let them know why you think they'd be perfect for it. Let me tell you something. No one loves to be sold, but everybody loves to buy. No one loves to be cajoled into something, but people love to be invited and told why they should attend, right? And so that's the best way to get your first 40 members. Maybe you invite 60 or 70, right? 70 people would be perfect, and you can get those first 40 members. Now, I understand how that sounds because you are probably here and you are very accustomed to like internet marketing, right? And I'm a grizzled veteran here, so I, have been doing marketing since before, anybody could get on the internet or social media or whatever. But I understand if you have a list of 70, and you're sending them like a funnel email or whatever, you're not going to get 40 people to say yes, right? However, if you have a list of names of 70 people and you're inviting them one by one by one by one, sounds like a lot. You have your core invite, that's just a cut and paste, but you're telling them why you think they should say yes. You'll get a much higher return rate. Why? Because they feel invited, right? And they know why you're asking them to buy. It's not because you need a new pair of shoes, right? It's because you really want them to be part of this. So how do you get your first 40? Personal invite, not a BCC list, a one-on-one invite. And then you can always give them the option to buy right then and join right then, but also ask them if they have any questions. You'd love to talk with them about joining your membership. Now, quick note, I think I mentioned it earlier, but after this initial launch, I've never made myself available for like sales calls to sell membership. I did it to launch something that was unproven and brand new that required of them and me an annual commitment. But I never, after those first 40 people, I've never made myself available for like one-on-one, sales calls to sell membership. I just found it wasn't necessary if you do it right? If you grow it deliberately, get those first 40 people very deliberately, and start strong with an annual commitment from your first 40 members, you won't need to do the one-on-one if you don't enjoy that. And I just don't enjoy being on the phone all the time. So anyway, when you ask people to join annually, if that is the option that you require of them, it doesn't just buy their commitment. It also buys yours. A lot of memberships never get off the ground because it's hard to get members, and they they have maybe 12 members at the beginning and then they're monthly members. And so you lose 7 and you get 3 more. It's just not worth it. The money is not worth it, right? So when I first launched with 40 people, I had them pay $444 to join Women Who Wow membership. By the way, even after all of our upgrades to Women Who Wow membership, even as I add tons of benefits every year, the people who were with me then are still paying $444 a year. I think I really like to reward longevity. So while new members, if they get the VIP, like friends and family rate, are paying $897 for the year, our other people are paying less than half of that just because they took a chance on me early on. But $444, I think that's $37 a month, but they paid annually. $444 times 40, it meant I collected $17,600 in my first month as a membership site owner. That was enough money to buy my commitment, right? And make me even more motivated to turn that 40 people into 80, into 160, and so on. By the way, a lot of people talk about memberships as a great way to get recurring income. And so they think talking about the monthly income, monthly payments is a good way to do that. It's true that I didn't have recurring income in my first year due to membership, but the second year, when all these people were paying again, it just compounds on itself, right? And so I got bigger paychecks month to month in that first year. And then after that first year, then the recurring income is quite impressive. So it's just a different way of looking at it. I'm not going to show up for, I don't know, 37 times 40 would be like $1,200 a month. That's a lot less impressive to me than 17,000. And then it's like, okay, I'm a year in, I'm a year commitment. And then in month 3, I'm serving their friends and we go from 40 to 80, it adds up faster, in my opinion. So $17,600 is what I made my first month. It's enough money to make me show up, right? I'm sure it's enough money to make you show up. And because they are in for a year versus trying you out and doing a month-to-month thing, you get better and better. You get better as a membership site owner. You get better and better as you get to know their needs intimately. They are served so well, and membership feels so intimate that they begin to bring their friends, right? Quick note, after you get your business or your membership going, you want to be sure sure to have friends and family events, right? Something to give people a peek behind the curtain of membership. So you might have a training coming up and say, hey, if any of your friends are interested in joining Women Who Wow, invite them to this. We'll give them the link, and they can, get a peek of what Women Who Wow is about, right? So, and also when they're join as annual members, real relationships are built that keep people with you for decades, right? So I will tell you, I don't know the actual numbers. I probably should have looked that up before I came in today, but a good portion of those people in the coaching gym back from 2008, 2009, they've been with me ever since, right? Through all of my iterations. They were, at the offline membership. They were, they've been with Women Who Wow since the very beginning, since the doors opened digitally. And so real relationships are formed and built when you require people to come in annually, right? They come in with a different mindset. You come in with a different mindset. So how do you keep the money coming in, right? The money coming in after you launch, you get your 40 people, your 17, if you do the $444 thing that I did, which is very cheap for an annual membership, frankly, you get that $17,600. How do you keep the money coming in? And I'll tell you, in 2019, 2020, even 2018, I sort of did like I always did. Like I'd message, I'm a big content marketer. I probably produce more content than, 98% of the people online, but I would message, I would invite, I would definitely, invite them to join the annual membership. And my people in the membership referred me. It kind of like went on as you'd expect it would, right? But I've come across something so much better in 2021 and it wasn't like by necessity. I just started playing. I like to tinker right under the hood of business. And I just started like playing around. And my membership includes like the benefits include like I do new intensives every 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever. So intensive. So that the members, by the way, get for free. They don't pay any extra for it. So my current intensive that I'm in the middle of right now is called Economic Autonomy. It includes like 6 new live trainings with Q&A, access to the Wow Warehouse where we co-work virtually once a month. And there's more time with, they can ask me questions, 3 one-on-one sessions with me by phone, e-coaching, and 45 servings of butt kickery served up hot and fresh every single morning just to keep the members going in the right direction. And so I'm selling this, right? This is an intensive that is free for my members. It's part of the member benefit, right? But remember, I told you that, memberships aren't a great standalone sale. Well, I'm selling this Economic Autonomy. It's a 6-week program for $497 to people who are not Women Who Wow members. Our members get it for free. Keep in mind, people can join membership for $897 a year. But remember, they're not laying awake at night thinking, I'm desperate for another membership to join. They are laying awake at night, dreaming of creating true financial freedom and autonomy, time and money freedom in and or through their business. And so they will often buy a program with a end goal and end result like economic autonomy faster than they'll buy into membership. But about 2/3 of the way through, for me, all roads lead to membership, right? It's my bread and butter. But about 2/3 of the way through the program that they just paid $497 for, I will, and at that point, they've gotten a taste of the Women Who Wow way. I will invite them to convert that program fee into annual membership. My last intensive actually had 100%. 100% people who bought I think the program was called Multiply. I forget exactly, but 100% of those people converted into annual membership. It's only a slight change the way I market. Essentially, but it's made a big change in my bottom line. So to me, it's like a slight change. I'm going to be doing my content marketing anyway. Instead of saying, hey, check out membership, I'm like, hey, I've got this program, come join the program. And they start to fall into membership, fall into the routine and the rhythm of Women Who Wow membership. And so about 2/3 of the way through, I'm like, hey, this doesn't have to end when whatever the intensive name is, when that ends, convert your program into membership. And like I said, the last time I did it, 100% of the people stayed with me. So I found that is a great and much easier way to grow membership and to keep the money coming in. So I am wrapping up now. I wanted to leave a few minutes for Q&A in case anybody had any, but I just am so thrilled to talk with you guys today and to share something I'm so passionate about because the membership model of business has given me the time freedom that I want. And honestly, it's like once you get it going up and running, I can have 200 people. I'm not expecting 200 people to join. I don't get 200 people joining my membership a day, but I can have 200 people join today in the next hour. And like my hustle doesn't increase. My deliverables don't increase. It's a beautiful way to grow a business that allows you to live the life that you want to live and also impact so many more people. But you got to do it your own way. You've got to, if you do the whole free trial, dollar trial, if you do all that stuff, you're going to be very, very frustrated and feel like it's either you or your stuff doesn't work for membership or what have you. And if you ever feel that way, I'd love for you to reach out to me, m.me/women who wow. And I'm open to any questions if you guys have that. And I apologize, I can't see who's here or who's not here, but Natalie, do you have any questions? I can see your face.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, let me tell you, the session was you captivating, like the story that you shared, like from the very beginning till the very end. I think it was so intriguing. My goodness, I'm like, okay, what's next? What's gonna happen next? So in real life story, you just shared basically everything from beginning to almost the end that people need to know to get started on this. So I thank you so much for bringing this structure to this session, and it was so engaging. No slides in the very beginning. I'm like, hey, Michelle, did you make sure that you were able to share your screen? And she's like, I don't need a screen. I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. So this was absolutely amazing, Michelle. Thank you so much. Now let's see, do we have any questions? If there are any, feel free to drop them in the chat here.
Yeah. And I will take the stage for 3 solid days and not have a slide, right? Who was it? Some famous, old time musician said, if you need more than a stage and a microphone, you're a poser, right? They're talking about talent in singing, which I have none of. But I will take the stage with no bullet points or whatever for 3 days and not miss a beat.
I love how you talked about annual memberships versus monthly. I love how you talk about that you are not actually doing the sales calls with those people, but you invite them, and then those people invite their friends. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. Now, everyone, for all of you who might want to re-listen this session, all of the sessions are recorded and will be available. And then I will share with all of you the link, and everyone who registered gonna get a link as well. Hey, Michelle, looks like we don't have any questions just yet, but for all the people, like, what would be a key takeaway or something else that you think you maybe forgot to mention? Because there's so, like, the breadth and of this session was so wide, and kind of encompassing so many things. So if there's anything, number one, if there's anything that you feel like needs to be added at this point, and then a key takeaway that you would have for people who probably don't have a membership just yet.
Yeah. So the first thing is don't get into the shoulds, right? Like that your membership should have XYZ or should have to have this or should have to have that, right? I'm not shy at all about using like BCC to deliver actual membership content, right? Like I still use Aweber. I have a free Infusionsoft, subscription. I don't use it. I still use Aweber. Like it doesn't have to be complicated. It shouldn't be complicated. And so don't get into the shoulds. Like, well, so-and-so does it this way, and I'm going to try to do it that way. Really build the membership around you. So if you are better at speaking or audio, right, then, make your member benefits delivered via audio. If you really like the one-on-one time, build a membership around that. If you hate writing, for God's sakes, don't think writing has to be part of your membership, right? Build it around you, because again, this is about long-term relationships, long-term profit. And if you've got to be in for the long term, you can make money right up front, right? Like, as I told you, but you want to build it around you so that you don't burn out of your own membership, right? And a lot of times people are burnt out before they ever really make any serious money. It's because they built the membership they thought they should have to build in order to be taken seriously. And it gets you into a lot of trouble. So what do you want to deliver? How do you want to deliver it? Build it around you, because you're really the engine that's going to keep it going.
Love it. Thank you so much for all this wealth of knowledge. It was absolutely stellar, amazing presentation, Michelle. And hopefully we'll be in touch. But share with people, where can they connect with you, get a little bit more information about you, and if they would like to join your membership.
Yes. So why don't you you can come to tribeofdrivenwomen.com, and right there is all the different ways you connect with me. You can listen to our podcast or visit our blog or our Facebook page or whatever. But you want to join membership as you find it online, because I have that VIP membership that includes the one-on-one time with me. So typically people will find membership and they will find the sales page, but it no longer includes that one-on-one time, not regularly. So if you are interested, then reach out to me directly. I'll give you the friends and family link. And we can go from there. But tribeofdrivenwomen.com is where you'll find all my free stuff.
Awesome. Michelle, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I was so excited.
Bye, everyone.